Welcome to the Power Chamber Podcast.
The only PCP that doesn't get recorded for like 5 weeks. What the hell?
Yeah, I don't know
what the hell, Nick?
We are here to present to you, because in our intervening absence of doing this, the end of Power Rangers Dino Supercharge has happened.
And it is about freaking time.
Is it?
I think so. I mean,
okay.
We meandered.
We'll get to it. We're gonna go ahead and just give our thoughts on the last 5 episodes.
Yeah.
Because while we did record our reactions to the episodes leading up to the finale, that audio was...
Nick lost it, is what happened. Nick lost all of the audio. Well, we sat and recorded so much stuff.
Yeah, that's right. We did record, so I guess for your viewing pleasure, we'll do it again.
Yeah, we're going to do it again.
So, onward to episode 17, Freaky Fight Day.
Freaky Fight Day.
Other Davi Santos.
Yes, yeah.
That's
essentially everybody also switches bodies, which is what the title's supposed to suggest. Happens.
I guess, yeah, that is true.
That does happen.
That does happen, yeah.
But, yeah, it's 2 plots on top of each other. I agree with you. Because we start off and we're like, oh, Ivan has this great-great-great-nephew or something.
It's not a great-great-great-nephew. This isn't Futurama. You should stop watching Futurama.
I really like Futurama, though. Plus, there's a lot more greats.
His blah-blah-blah grandson is how they describe it in the episode.
Sure.
And, yeah, so...
Oh, yeah. That's right. I don't know why I went straight to nephew. You're my uncle from the future.
Episode opens with Snide being chained up in the ship.
Yeah. Like crucified. It was
pretty cool, man.
Just completely strung up.
Totally on his mission of being like, no, I'm gonna chain you up.
The baddest mamma jamma.
It was pretty cool, but he's like, nope, I've got a plan, and I'm more effective than Singe. You should use me.
Yeah.
As your new general. Yeah. And Arcanon's like, well, if you can give me the Energems, then you'll do it. And he's like, okay, well, here's my plan. So he brings out this monster. Dr. Strickler or Professor Strickler.
Yeah.
He can swap people's bodies.
With his magic eraser.
Yeah, let's swap people's bodies. And by the way, resurrect Nightmare and Game Face to do that also.
Do what? Oh, yeah, that's right.
To assist.
Yeah.
And so they attack. The Rangers
but they don't have voices.
they get swapped to their bodies, and then they go back to the lab. It's pretty fun seeing them act as each other. I think it would have been more impressive had they actually done the Super Mega Force thing and been each other outside,
rather than
without the dubbing
thing. Sure.
I mean, the dubbing's all right.
Well, it's also in continuity with the show,
specifically
like what you said
for Davi. Whenever Ivan goes to talk to his relative, and he's in Riley's body, so he's got to act like Riley.
Yeah. No, it was actually super good. Yeah. It was really good.
A lot of range Davi demonstrates in this episode. It was nice.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. And so, they defeat the monsters. Their bodies get swapped back, and even though Snide failed Arcanon's going to do Snide a favor and split him and Heckle into 2 beings.
Yep.
With the split emitters that the Rangers just left in the woods.
Yeah.
I don't understand why that's a thing that happened.
Yeah. Man, Kendall just leaves shit lying around.
It's like, okay, I guess she was distracted by Xenowing. You guys go after her. I'll project Xenowing.
Yeah, that was her. That's what she was doing at the time.
Yeah. It was so weird that he's like, I'm going to go find him in the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, because those are totally still there.
Yeah,
but anyway, Heckle and Snide are now separate beings.
Yeah, they get their own story arc kind of stuff things.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. Heckle's at first really pissed off at Snide for agreeing to help his enemy, and Snide's like, I don't care about you or your feelings. I'm looking out for me.
Numero uno.
Yeah.
Snide actually became infinitely more interesting the minute they
after
split.
the split happens, he becomes much more interesting of a character. I think it's because we get to see him more do things other than stand there and be like, I will destroy you.
Well, there's a second part to that, but I'll get to that when we cross it.
Okay. Then the next episode, Warg World,
which is not the worst Power Rangers episode I've ever seen. It's not the worst episode of this show.
I don't know. I found it really bad just because it seemed to be juggling a lot.
No, that's definitely the feel you get from these last 5 episodes.
I appreciate the Halloween-themed zombieisms because, they don't do the clip show thing. They actually make a Halloween special that's like...
Oh, yeah.
Has a plot and is terrifying.
Sure.
So...
Not like the other one.
Not like the other one. What was even the other one? Oh, yeah, the trial.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I can't remember. Trial by Pumpkins. I can't actually remember the name of the
trial.
episode.
It was Trick or Trial.
Trick or Trial. Oh, okay.
Trial by Pumpkins.
I thought that's what it was. I'm sorry.
Pretty good. But anyway.
So Warg World, it's not a bad episode.
I disagree. I think it does too much to where it.
I agree with you. It's 2 different plots.
It careens into bad. No, it's 3. It's 3 things that happen in this episode. You got the zombie outbreak thing,
sure,
which is super cool and really well shot. Differently shot.
Yeah, it's very cinematic.
Yeah, and we had noticed that early on before the zombies even showed up. We're like, what? Why does it look weird?
Yeah.
It's nice. Different. I don't understand. And then there's the Coda thing.
With Warg.
Which doesn't really have a payoff, I don't think. He's just like, I don't want to be the only caveman. Bye, Warg.
I think it might have actually been to set up for the thing.
No.
But that would be giving the show too much credit.
Yeah.
So,
especially given what happens next. And then there's Arcanon, who finally imbues himself with the power of the Dark Energem.
Is that the same episode?
And is taken out like a bitch. Yes.
Wow.
That is the same episode.
Wow.
Do you see the problem?
I got it. Well, again, man, we scrunch a whole lot of information at one time. We got to get through so much story that we couldn't have done early on, because otherwise we would have lost those fantastic filler plots. Just the bomb diggity.
Do you think the problem is we have too many characters? Actually, that can't be the problem.
No.
We
established.
We just focus on the main team.
Yeah.
For a majority of the filler episodes that we have.
Plus, I think everybody in Jungle Fury is well defined. That's the second biggest team. Why I said that.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think that was the biggest team prior to this.
No.
No?
I will say no. SPD is bigger.
Oh.
Yeah, because there's the
main 5.
There's the main 5. There's Kruger, and then there's the
Cat,
Sam, and Kat.
Oh yeah. Well, Kat doesn't count. She came in one time.
No.
Kelson needed that more for.
She showed up twice, and then there's the Omni that shows up right at the end.
Okay.
To help Sam.
Well, still,
and they're like partners.
Well, yeah, but
time cops from the future.
he's a ball of energy. Yeah. They evolved or something.
No, that's not what it is. He's an actual person. It's just that the time travel turned him into a ball of energy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, at least it's an explanation.
Yeah. Something.
Sam
is a ball of light.
I'm saying, even the villains in Jungle Fury are really well-defined, characters and people.
Well, yeah.
Did Jared and Camille count? They
get
suits.
Yes.
So there are 10.
No, they don't count as Rangers.
They do count, though.
No. If they count, then Heckle counts.
Yeah.
Which brings our count to 11.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was supposed to get a suit anyway. That's a completely different story.
All right, well, anyway.
We went off on a tangent. Sorry.
Arcanon comes in.
No.
After talking for episodes.
I don't think that we had too many characters to follow around.
Okay.
I just think that it wasn't handled well.
No.
We had them doing different stuff.
Yeah.
than we already had them doing. Like, well, these are already our characters. They should be doing that stuff. The only one who remains consistent, I think, is Chase.
That's not true. Coda kind of remains consistent.
Kind of, but we don't...
Up until the end. Ivan, I think, also stays consistent. He doesn't really have a character arc, and that is... I shouldn't bring that up now. Tyler, I think, stays consistent for the most part. The problem is that we blew our load too early on that.
By having them date?
No.
Oh, the James
His
thing.
father thing, yeah.
Sorry.
To the point where he just comes in, we'll be together soon, my son, I promise.
Yeah. Every time James says anything to Tyler, all I can picture is freaking, what's his name? Finn's dad.
Oh, Martin?
Swimming away, talking about, I'm going to the store.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. You should find that clip and you just put it in.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I'll get you a still. That's what you'll get from me. No. But yeah, I think you're absolutely... Well, I think they did change Shelby's character. And as far as Riley goes, I mean, that guy didn't have a strong foundation to bounce off of to begin with.
Yeah.
Then again, I think it was made worse in season 2 than it is
it really
in
was.
Season 1.
Shelby changes characters completely.
I don't think she changes completely.
She drops the entire thing. Like her thing is that she works at the museum so she can be close to dinosaurs.
Yeah,
because she loves dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's
really
still a thing.
That's really all we get, I guess, from the first season.
Well, I mean, we also get the Shelby Tyler thing.
Well, no.
Which
I'm
up
talking about that specifically because I guess you could kind of take it seriously if you thought, okay, well, she works at the museum because she loves dinosaurs. That's her thing. Okay?
Uh-huh.
You can explain it further by saying, her dad wants her to be going to school for this.
And I think they did.
But she wants to do dinosaur stuff. Even though we're never... Did she actually say the word paleontologist?
No.
Because we needed to know that.
Yeah.
We did. We needed to establish, okay, she wants to make a career out of this.
Yeah.
She's not going to,
I agree with you, yeah.
collect dinosaur,
She's just talking about...
figurines.
She's just talking about dinosaurs. She's just talking about dinosaurs, and her father's like, you need to stop all this dinosaur stuff.
Yeah. They only say dinosaur stuff. We don't get anything beyond that.
Anyway, Warg World.
No, we finished Warg World.
Oh, did we?
Well, no.
Anyway,
you talked about Arcanon.
Arcanon is talking about episodes. This guy's been like, I have the Dark Energem. You guys better watch out. I will end all of you. The Rangers won't survive. All this nonsense.
Blah, 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 blah.
And as soon as that dude powers up, it just goes, that's it.
Is that the worst power-up you've ever seen? Like, his face changes. That's it.
No. The metallic armor is infinitely worse than that.
Oh.
It's glitter.
Yeah.
It's just glitter.
You're just glitter.
Oh, man. Anyway, what is even episode 19?
Oh, hold on, wait.
Wait, no.
At the end of Warg World, is that where we get the return?
Yeah, that's
where
we get the return of Sledge.
Yeah. Like,
totally
Arcanon's been defeated, he's all immobilized and crawling towards the Dark Energem, and Sledge comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Arcanon goes, I got my boys, and Sledge goes, I got my boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Poisandra, Curio, and Fury, which, where the hell have they been?
Yeah.
We haven't seen them since catching some rays.
And Snide also shows up, and he's like, yeah, I betrayed you.
Oh, yeah, betrayal.
And they take those out, which I kind of thought was weak sauce.
I didn't think it was weak sauce.
They took the kill from Heckle, man.
Oh, okay. Fair. Well, not anymore.
Okay.
Because Arcanon's going to... Yeah.
Well, we will get to it.
Yep, that's because I ask a whole lot of questions.
Yep. So,
but I literally forgot. I thought about it the moment that he stepped up. I was like, wait a minute. That dude's got an Energem cannon.
Yeah.
He picks up the Dark Energem. I'm like, oh, shit. And he does the thing.
He powers up the thing, and he goes...
Just blasts everybody.
And they're all dead. That's the end of Singe.
Yeah, that's the end. Yeah, that's the end of Singe.
Thanks for playing.
Thanks for being here.
And then we can bleed immediately into the next episode, where they go back to the ship, and Poisandro's like, what is the next episode even called? The Rangers Rock. Poisandra goes up to Sledge. He's like, "How dare you be alive and not tell me that?"
She's all pissed off, and of course she is.
And he goes on to say, he's like, "Well, when the ship was crashing, right, I saw these eggs, and my plan was forming in my mind. But in order for it to work, I needed to distract the Rangers. So I brought in Heckle, and he's my partner, which I guess is now just Snide." And now so he's distracted the Rangers, and now I've set up my evil plan. I'm ready to enact it. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently he's just been spending the last couple of months flying around the world on his jetpack.
Yeah. Going to all kinds of different places.
Yep.
Japan was the interesting one, I thought.
Oh, really?
Just because of Sentai.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
That guy wasn't a Sentai villain, but whatever.
Yeah, I know. But it's still pretty funny. That they actually had a sequence and just pictures for every place else.
Yeah.
And he's like, but in order to do this plan, we need to charge up the engine for the ship with the Dark Energy Gem and get off this rock. And he goes off, and we get a new intro that actually puts the Aqua Ranger in there, even though he's been a part of the team for episodes now.
Is he even in episode 19?
He is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He goes
like the Aqua Ranger. I know James is there.
He goes.
But he doesn't stay at the lab.
No. He's at the lab. He goes to the lab and he tells the Rangers, he's like, "Oh man, Sledge is back, and him and Snide are working together.
Yep.
And they're gonna get off this rock, and they have an evil plan in place. We have to go stop them and destroy the Dark Energy Gem." And they're like, "Okay, let's do it." Chase comes out and is like, "Well, let's just fucking obliterate them. We got our Megazords. Let's just walk right up to them and just go BAM!"
Yeah, everybody was like, "Is that the whole plan?"
Yeah. Shelby's like, "No, there's no guarantee that we would destroy the Dark Energy Gem if we went that route. So why don't we just sneak on board the ship, find the thing, and then just step on it? That'll work." And they were like, "Okay, well, we do know our way around the ship. Let's do this. Break." But while they go to the ship, they trick off Sledge's sensors that are apparently hidden in the woods. And the villains are there waiting for him. And so then they send Vivix to attack, and it's crazy and it's awesome. And then Sledge sends out a monster called Medusa.
Oh, this is the Medusa episode.
Yes.
Okay.
And he starts turning the Rangers into stone with his magic amulet.
Yeah.
And
it's kind of horrifying.
Shelby sees him do it to Tyler, and she's like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, and so she bails.
She grabs James and Prince Philip, and he's like, "We gotta get the heck out of here!"
Yes,
and they're like hiding from Medusa
behind a tree,
who's like stalking them, and he says,
"He looks like a freaking predator. It's awesome."
"I haven't had this much fun since I killed the Kyryuger galaxy." I was like, man,
what an odd thing to say there.
Yeah, what an odd thing to say.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden Heckle just shows up.
And he's wearing his steampunk goggles.
Yeah.
I don't think people actually wear those. I'm pretty sure they're just an accessory.
Oh, yeah. You're absolutely right. The only reason he wears them is to protect himself from turning into stone.
That makes sense.
And so he blasts Medusa. The Rangers see him, and they're like, "Oh my god, it's Heckle!" Ah!
Yeah.
And he saves their ass, and Medusa just
immedially leaves.
Medusa retreats, and Heckle's like, "I know what it's like to see your world destroyed," and he walks off. And they're like, "Oh god, we got to do something." So they take the Rangers back to the base, and they're like, "Oh no, what do we do?" Meanwhile, earlier in the episode, Zenwing was like, "Hey, Shelby, you want to know how to build a sword?" So he showed her how to do it.
Yep.
And then they're like, "Well, we got to fight this thing, and we got to destroy Medusa in order to free the Rangers." Well, we can't do that if we don't have a Megazord, because these things always lead to a Megazord.
Right.
So we need something that has a cockpit in it, because Arthur Zords don't have cockpits in it, which I thought was an interesting idea that we never brought up.
Yeah, I thought about it, and while it is odd, it's it's true.
No, yeah, it is true. It makes sense.
But why the hell couldn't they call upon the T-Rex Zord? That's what I want to know. Oh, their energems were useless, so they were stone.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, yeah.
And so Shelby gets to make a Megazord, and it's super cool and awesome.
Yeah. It's a little awkward, I'm not going to lie.
Why?
Just the lead up, the dialogue exchanges don't
work
because
for me. It's Don't Feel Bad, Shelby?
Yeah, essentially.
Pretty much, yeah.
I never thought about it that way. It was very quick.
Yeah.
Kind of generic. Boring. But
in their defense, they didn't really have a whole lot of time, because, I mean, then we get...
Again, we could have spent an episode on this.
Again, we get Heckle's backstory also later on with this, but yeah. They make an egg that falls over, an egg and stone that falls over and sinks to the earth.
And freaking Shelby was like, only the heat from a whopping love hug can seal the egg or whatever. So she's like, Keeper, would you seal the egg? And... Yeah, magic science.
What she says is, I need the spirit of a warrior. Keeper, you're super strong and powerful, who's also here right now. Why don't you...
I still would have given it to Philip. I've been like, dude, just go all RJ on it just one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was...
Because he's wasted, man.
Yeah.
He had an episode.
We'll get to it.
All right.
We'll get to it. God, we got a whole lot of things to cover.
We do.
Yeah, so long story short, the Rangers go out and try to follow the Zord that's sensing that Keeper can sense now since he put his
he's like dragon-hearted.
They find Heckle in the woods, just kind of living there. And he's like, "Don't worry, I'm not gonna kill you. Snide wants to kill you. I'm no longer evil."
Yeah.
And he gives them their backstory or his backstory, and they're like, "What?" And he's like, "Everything I've ever done is to restore my planet." And she's like, "How would you do that with the energems?" And before he can answer, Medusa shows up, and he's like, "I'm gonna kill you guys." So they fight him, and he drops the amulet, and Heckle and Shelby are able to destroy it.
Which, again, was super awkward.
I don't think it was.
It was. She didn't even try to shoot the thing, and then he's like... Or, no. He didn't even try to zap the thing, and she's like, we can do it together.
No, he was like, we can do it together.
Oh, well. Yeah. Whatever. It was very...
She at first
again, it was just generic. I felt like, I've seen this happen before.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think that's the problem with
it better.
I think that's the problem with it being a little bit too quick. But, yeah.
Yeah.
So they destroy the amulet, and the Rangers are freed, and Medusa grows giant. So they both bring out the Spinocharge Megazord.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
Freaking awesome.
Just take out that thing, but he survives somehow.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, the other Rangers show up, and we get a big epic fight between all 10 Rangers, Vivix and Medusa.
Yep.
And Tyler adds the Spinocharger to his Battleizer. It's really awesome. And, yeah, they win the day.
Yeah,
Yay!
they win the day.
But Sledge manages to get his ship up in the air, and he goes off, and he's like, all right, time to enact my evil plan. And then we lead directly into the next episode, which I forget the title of that. Oh, no, it's Edge of Extinction.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Edge of Extinction.
Edge of Extinction. So, Sledge's plan is this. He has
left eggs all over the planet.
Yeah. That are Greenzilla eggs.
Yeah, they're Greenzilla eggs. Which I guess that was the cell that he looked in, and I don't actually know what was going on there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Snide has a tentacle, so I don't actually know what the hell.
Yeah. Actually. And it's been confirmed that thing was supposed to be... That was Greenzilla.
Yeah, well...
yeah, I know.
It's weird.
I know.
It's weird.
I agree with you.
It's weird.
I know.
Okay.
It's a fallacy.
Yeah.
Because it was wasted.
So,
it's even worse here. So there are 5 Greenzillas.
Yeah.
That they got to fight.
Well, there's 6.
There's 6?
That he puts all over the world.
Oh, there were 6 of them.
But the Rangers find one of them, and they're like, what is this egg? And
that's right.
Kendall analyzes it, and they're like, we need to get more information from Heckle. Well, luckily for you, he's sitting right there.
Yeah.
So he's like, well, here's 6 of them. And I would love to help you guys, but the Earth is doomed, and I'm no longer good. So bye.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna be over at like McDonald's.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be enjoying my last day alive.
Yeah.
See ya. And they're like, man, Heckle, Well, they go off and the Greenzilla eggs hatch. They destroy the one that they have in the lab.
Yeah.
But they go out in all their Megazords to fight these things. They have eventually managed to destroy them with the help of the Spino Charge Megazord, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah. Well, they send a Megazord everywhere.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but it's the Spino Charge Megazord that's really the difference maker, I think. Because
sure.
That's the thing that was able to destroy one Greenzilla and then also help the others defeat theirs as soon as they get more reinforcements.
Yeah. I thought it was a massive misstep this episode.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, man. Come on. You can't just destroy all of the Greenzillas at one time.
I think it was the right move given what we'll see later.
I disagree. I think the second part of this finale, End of Extinction, could have done better with just a continuation
of the fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like destroy 3 in this one, or 2 even, and then do 3. Then have the last 2 in the last battle and have them be like super tough or whatever.
Yeah, okay.
But I guess we do have the Megazords to cover the ground.
Yeah. But, so they go through all that whole thing and they're able to defeat the Greenzillas. Meanwhile, Heckle decides that he is good inside after he helps a little girl out. And he goes to stop Snide, who lands on Earth, trying to find out where the Greenzilla egg that the Rangers took is.
He straight up ripped off.
He takes the Dark Energem with him because he overhears that Sledge wants to betray him. He's like, he ain't gonna leave me here as long as I got this thing. So
that's right.
He takes that. Meanwhile, Sledge and Poisandra have their wedding.
Yeah, and it's goofy.
Yes, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, it is fun. I was like, I missed this.
It is pretty good. Anyway, Snide traces the egg back to the museum.
Yep.
And he determines that the base is directly underneath it, so he just
wails,
breaks
punching
right
the ground.
Through. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's intense.
He breaks right in, and Kendall and Keeper are like, ah.
Like, what the hell?
He's like, yeah, I'm gonna kill you. And so he goes on. He gets in a fight with Kendall. And she holds her own for a little bit.
She really does. It's surprising.
Yeah.
That was the base destruction scene for the finale.
Part 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he knocks her back, and then Heckle shows up, and he's like, I'm good.
Yeah.
And he attacks him, and
release the good.
They chase after Snide because he's trying to retreat back to his pod, but then the other Rangers show up, and they're like, nope.
Yeah.
You ain't getting off this rock. And so he's like, well, you can't defeat me as long as I got this thing. Yeah. But then they show up with the Ultrazord and they just obliterate him.
They shoot the guy with the Megazord while the guy's on the ground. It's just
also
mean.
Shoot him, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got Rangers on the ground with Heckle talking about, I brought you into this world and I couldn't be happier to help you leave it. And I thought that was pretty cool.
It is cool.
Yeah.
What is,
So
I'll ask you that later.
They destroy that thing. Sledge and Poisandra get married, but then they find out that Snide took the Energem.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, snap, we probably should have helped that guy. Well, we Fury go down there and try to get it back. This leads directly into the next episode where the Rangers find the Dark Energem under Snide's remains.
Yeah.
And they're like, man, this thing is tough. And then they get alerted that Fury's attacking the lab, and they're like, oh, snap. So they run off to save him, and Wrench is like, oh no, Fury's been noticed. I should warn Sledge. And Sledge is like, I don't care. The eggs I planted also act as anchors that I can use to pull the planet out of orbit.
Yeah, I was like, how convenient.
Yeah, this was weird.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got a backup plan that we really didn't know that the eggs could even do this, but okay. The eggs have reformed. It's weird.
Yeah, they... Anyway, it doesn't matter.
And
they grow roots
into
the ground.
They grow roots into the ground. And,
they shoot vines into the sky.
Meanwhile, the Rangers are able to stop Fury while he's in the lab and force him to retreat.
Yeah.
And then they get called by Sledge, who's like, I've sold the Earth for scrap. You guys are screwed. I'm going to pull the planet out of orbit, and everything on this rock's going to bleed to death, freeze to death.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, what are we going to do? We got to stop Sledge. And Keeper's like, well, the only way to save the world is to destroy the Dark Energy, which will unleash the power of the original 10 Energems. And yeah, that's our plan. He's like, well, how do we destroy the thing? We shot at it with lasers.
Yeah, and a mega cannon.
Gave it our best shot, and it still didn't work.
Yeah.
And Riley's like, well, what about light? The thing was made from darkness. What if we just shine a bunch of light at it?
Yeah, logically.
He's like, probably, that'll work. And then they're like, well, how do we do that? Where's a big enough light source? And Chase says, well, we can do this with teamwork like we do with everything else. And I was like, what?
that line was there.
The hell does that mean?
They had to get it out of the way, man.
Okay. Teamwork and
yeah,
family values and honesty.
Yeah, eat your vitamins, say your prayers.
Yeah. But the Rangers go up into space with their Megazords, more specifically the Terrazord and what is the other one? The Plesiosaur.
Yes.
And they have everybody on Earth hold up mirrors, reflect sunlight into the Dark Energem, and then shoot the thing. And it works. The thing's destroyed.
Yeah.
But it creates a black hole.
Yeah.
That sucks up Sledge's ship. And also the Earth.
Yep.
And they're like,
well,
whoa.
That wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah. Like, man, we made things a whole lot worse. Why did you tell us to do this, Keeper?
He's like, you can unlock the power of the thinger, which it's time travel.
Yeah, time travel.
They can travel through time.
Yeah. This won't cause problems.
And they go back, instead of going to the first episode, which for some reason that's where I thought this was going to go.
No, well, what I thought was going to happen was that they were going to go back in time to before Sledge planted all the eggs and stop him before he's able to or have them hatch.
Make him dead.
That's what I thought was going to happen because, I mean, that's kind of like Superman 2 logic. Or Superman logic where they just kind of... He spins the Earth around and goes to save Lois.
Oh, yeah.
And so... But what instead happens is they go back in time to when Keeper crashed on Earth.
Why then?
With all the dinosaurs.
Like, why then? And that was Keeper's idea.
I think it's because that's his first, stand against Sledge.
Uh-huh.
And so he's like, well, I gotta go where all this mess began. Stop all this mess from happening.
Yeah.
And so the Rangers are like, oh snap, there's dinosaurs.
Yeah.
We gotta go find Keeper. And he's crashed, so let's go find him. And Sledge is like, who are those guys? They probably know where Keeper is. Let's go talk to him, Fury.
Yeah.
Then the Rangers go to meet with Keeper, and he's like, who are you? And they're like, we're Power Rangers from the future.
Yeah.
And he goes, nuh-uh. Prove it. And they're like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. They call the Energems to them, and he's like, well, you must be telling the truth. And then Sledge and Fury show up, and they're like, yeah, I found you, Keeper. Now I'm going to kill you.
Yep.
And, man, the Rangers just morph, and they're like, all right, time to do this one last time.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Sledge and Fury are like, what? Who are you?
Who are you people?
Yeah.
Why do you want to fight?
Yeah. Ivan and Fury go at it, and Fury's like, you know all my moves. And he's like, we fought before. And he goes, ah. And he finds the container, and he's like, I got it, Sledge.
I got the Energems. Let's get out of here.
They open it, and it's got the bomb in there. And
right.
Tyler shows up, and he's like, looking for these. That's a bomb. This time kills Fury.
Yep. Killing that guy.
He just goes off.
He literally pops. Like, you can see him go. Pff. I was like, wow. Surprised they could get away with that.
It didn't happen the first time.
No, that didn't happen. Why would it happen? They were in a confined space.
Yeah. And Sledge is like, man, guys, that was my general. So he fights the Rangers for a little bit, and then they're like, "Oh man, this is crazy," and he's like, "I'm gonna now pull out something you've never seen before, Magna Beam," and the Rangers are like, "Oh, here we go," and he goes to step on them, but then the other Rangers, the 10 that we didn't see, or the other 4, I guess,
yes,
and Heckle, have boarded the ship and are just to fight off all the evil forces on the ship. And sends the ship on a collision course with the sun.
Yep.
And just use Sledge's netting system to pick him up and take him with the ship. And they just go in the sun, and that's the end of that.
Yep.
I have a question.
Okay.
So, and this goes into my major problem with the episode as far as the whole time travel thing. Because not only are there several other monsters that are on that ship that we don't see.
Right. Heckle would also been.
Heckle is also on that ship.
Well, no, he came through the time portal with them.
Well,
so
yeah.
Future Heckle still exists. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
no, it's almost like a plot hole or something.
This is the problem with going back in time. You always have these questions of, well, then how does this fit into this? Is there a paradox here or whatever? It's all confusing and weird.
Yeah.
I've heard some people defend it as to, well, I mean, they're in an alternate dimension when they go back to the prison or whatever. And I don't know if I can buy that.
How?
My thought process is that anybody who goes through that time portal and the Rangers, since they're bonded to the Energems, they're wholly separate from time itself, so they don't actually cause any paradoxes.
That kind of makes sense. They wouldn't be walking paradoxes.
Yeah. But anyway, after Sledge is defeated...
But it's also space wizard magic, so...
That is true. It's also space wizard magic. Speaking of which, Keeper creates a portal, and he's like, Coda and Ivan, you can now go back home to your own time periods.
Yep.
And the Rangers are like, I'll miss you most of all. And they do a group hug.
Yeah.
And they...
I had so many questions for this. Like,
yeah.
Well, like, why is that an option?
For them to go back in time?
Yeah. For them to go back to their own time periods.
Because... I mean, we can't have everybody still bonded to the Energems. I mean, that means they wouldn't age.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, like, why would Coda want to go back?
Yeah, I don't know, because he misses his family and he's the only caveman, and even though he now is pretty comfortable with modern society,
yeah, he really likes living with Kendall.
It's weird. It's just weird, man.
I agree with you.
There's not a whole lot of things that really make a lot of sense here by doing this.
Well, it doesn't get better. As soon as we send them off, like, I mean, I guess Ivan has to go, create Zach.
Yeah.
And so...
yeah. That is true. So that solves that paradox, but I just found it odd that Coda would be like, I'm going back home.
Yeah.
Because the way his character arc played out, I legitimately thought that the way we would end that is to have them, like, unthaw another caveman that he could pal around with in the present day. Like, kind of teach him things. That would be his own adventure.
Like Tagu?
Yeah. Something like that.
Maybe.
I thought that could work as an idea. But anyway, then he says, the other Rangers, you guys step through it. You'll also go back home.
Yeah.
Except for you, James. You're coming with him.
Going
back to present day.
For some reason.
Which makes things super awkward.
Yeah. His mom's going to freak out.
Yeah, I know. That's the first thing I thought of. Like, man, how do you explain this?
We were the Power Rangers.
This is my friend. Yeah. But then he also tells Zenowing and Heckle, he's like, hey guys, you can also go through this portal and go back to the day that the Dark Energem was not stolen and stop Sentai 6 from ever being destroyed. And they're like, you really trust us with that much?
Yeah.
Like, seriously, we're 2 guys.
Well, I mean, Heckle was one dude and he was doing it, but
yeah.
Here's the question.
Yeah.
They needed to destroy the Dark Energem to time travel in the first place.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
that was.
Why do you want to bring that thing back?
That was also my question. I think it's just so that all the things that would happen or that would have to happen to lead to that moment would still need to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't just wipe the Dark Energem from existence. It would be cool and it would make sense.
Yeah.
But that's not the way they handle it.
Plus, Arcanon still exists now.
Yes, Arcanon does exist. Though I'm assuming Zenowing and Heckle took care of him. And Keeper's like, you are a keeper of the Dark Energem.
Yeah.
Heckle gets a robe, and that's about it. No Power Ranger suit for you, man.
Yeah. At least give him a staff. Damn.
Yeah.
So, yeah. They go, sorry. It's just, it's mind-boggling.
Yeah. So then Keeper leaves, and he's like, order's been restored. There's a lot of questions, and I have more of them after seeing the holiday special.
Okay.
But anyway.
That's, fuck it.
No.
So
I'll talk to you about it later. After
okay.
This. But so the other Rangers go back to present day in Amber Beach, and they're like, "Wow, we're home! Yeah!"
Yeah.
And so then they get called to emergency at the museum. They go to the museum, but it's not a museum. It's a dinosaur zoo.
Yep. Zoo with dinosaurs.
There's no the Sledge's asteroids didn't hit the planet, so the extinction of the dinosaurs never took place.
Nope, that never happened.
Which means that there's a whole lot, like, man, the whole butterfly thing, the butterfly effect.
Yeah.
Luckily, the episode is there not to answer a single question.
Yeah. Well, no, this is just how things are now.
Yeah.
Hooray!
Are Kaylee and Chase still a thing?
Have they even met?
Yeah. That would have been a cool twist.
I agree with you.
If they hadn't have done it.
We needed multiple scenes following, the whole dinosaur zoo thing. Because when they get back, it makes sense that they would, go to the museum.
Yeah.
Have all that stuff happen. Have Shelby's dad come out of nowhere and be like, I brought you lunch.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, she's
work.
got to be like a dino vet now, right?
Yeah.
Which, does she know that? I don't.
Yeah, that's also a good point. And then again, she has shown some tremendous dinosaur knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely needed to wrap up with mostly our recurring characters, because my main problem with the whole time travel thing, it has nothing to do with the Rangers' character arcs itself. Because I believe this because Ninjago did something similar recently, that because it's their character arcs, that they still matter, even though time travel shenanigans happen that made all that not actually take place, but their experiences are still real, so their characters do shift.
Oh, okay.
My problem is, what about the people that are around them that didn't have those experiences because of the time shift?
Yeah.
Don't have those memories. I mean, man.
Yeah, because the Ranger thing never happened.
Yeah.
Like, is Riley just missing from his parents' house?
That's a good point, yeah. Well, I know he says that his brother texted him.
Oh,
so it's all
that's
good.
right.
It's all good. That's all we get from Riley. And we don't really get a whole lot of wrap-up as far as the characters go. No, that's saved for the holiday special.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's an epilogue. That it's a clip show. That's how they justify the clips.
Oh.
Because they're like, we have character arced through this whole thing, and now you're this person.
Oh.
Though I have a whole lot of questions about that, and we'll get into that when I actually talk about that episode.
Okay. Well, we haven't had a chance to see the holiday special. Well, I haven't.
Yeah.
Nick saw it.
I watched it today, so.
Nick might show it to me after we're done with this.
Yes.
But, man, this show was just wasted potential.
Yes, it was.
It was completely wasted potential. I mean, you have interesting characters. You have actors who can portray these characters.
Yes.
That we want to see. And you go with Home Run Coda.
I don't think Home Run Coda is the problem. I think that there's a lot of things that they just kind of... There's things that they introduce that later just don't matter. Like, oh, snap. Heckle is working at the cafe. What's going to happen? Finished in 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Arcanon, a new evil villain, has returned. How's that going to play out? First Megazord fight with the Rangers. He's gone. And then Sledge comes back because we totally need that.
Of course. We didn't. I'm just
and
saying.
then that whole thing
is
is wasted because, hey, let's go back in time and fight this guy, and he won't fight us with any of the intensity that he would if he knew who we actually were.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I guess that is a good point. They're mostly confused the whole time.
No, yeah, it does.
They're not angry.
Problem.
They're not pissed off. Like they're not determined to kill these people.
Yeah, it doesn't play like a final battle because it's so one-sided.
It is the first battle. It's literally the first battle.
Yeah. And that is just a problem. That I mean, I give them points for originality because I haven't seen that before. But you lose something when you do stuff like this. And I just don't understand what necessitated so much or so many different rewrites in this show. Like, I think at a point, Heckle was supposed to be the Talon Ranger.
Yeah.
They just couldn't find a way to fit it in.
Well, again, they wasted a lot of time. We meandered quite a bit in this season especially.
Yeah. There was a whole lot of filler.
Yes. We do have some good stuff.
Yeah.
Again, Chase's relationship with Kaylee.
Yeah, that stuff
is good. That stuff is awesome.
Yeah. But there's a lot of...
But that stuff with Shelby and her dad, like...
Well, no, I think we needed that. We didn't need the Shelby and Aaron thing. That was something...
Oh, that's the one, yeah.
That was something we didn't need. We didn't need Home Run Coda. Like, we really didn't need that. Especially if you were going to give us War World later down the line, we really didn't need Home Run Coda.
Yeah, Riley doesn't... Like, nothing about that episode makes sense, but whatever. Walking away.
Yeah, and then there's the whole Tyler's dad thing, which... That's just a mistake, man. Like, making him the Aqua Ranger played out exactly the way that I thought it would because they just screwed it up. They did it too early, man.
I agree with you.
The problem that they ran into is...
should have made him the Silver Ranger.
What are we going to do with this character now that we brought him in and he's Tyler's dad and so he has to be there?
Yeah.
Let's write him out. You could have solved this if you just... wrote him as a different character.
Well, and they gave him the same scene twice.
Yes.
Where he was like, Tyler, I have to go away now. But I'll be back.
Yeah. Ew, man.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, no. It gets comedic at a point. Where he's just like, I'll make that my mission. I'm sorry we couldn't spend time together, son. But Daddy's got to go do this thing.
Tyler could have gone with him.
Yeah, I know.
Could have gotten some focus on the background Rangers.
No, well, yeah, that is true. I mean, we got... Maybe have somebody else lead the team.
Kendall.
Ivan would have been a good choice, my opinion.
Okay, I was going to go with Kendall.
Yeah, Kendall wouldn't have been a bad choice either. Her getting the purple energem, man.
Well, okay.
We dropped our ball with that.
Yes, we did. But I still say... It had to happen.
Yeah.
And it did. It really did.
No, it did definitely have to happen. The problem is we didn't have anything for her to do with it after we gave it to her.
Yeah, that's true.
So my question
stays in the lab highly.
Yeah, so my big question with that specifically is why even give it to her if it's not going to make a lick of difference?
Because she has to get one.
It makes somewhat of a difference since she has to be the one to fight Snide at the end, but I mean, it just seemed really awkward to kind of be like, she's a Power Ranger, but then also not. Like, because, I mean, and maybe I'm just spoiled by this, but whenever, like, Tommy got a morpher, and RJ got a morpher, Kruger got a morpher, they were a part of the team after that.
Oh, well, Dan wasn't.
Especially Doggy Kruger, even though he's the commander, he showed up a good chunk of the time. So, I don't understand. Like, why... I expected this to play out a lot differently than how it does.
Well...
it just seems like a whole lot of missteps. And
Ivan is kind of that character.
What?
Ivan is kind of that character.
What?
With the whole I'm part of the team now thing, you know.
Well, yeah.
They have that dynamic, and he has an arc where he thinks the Rangers are dumb.
That's the problem, though, is that we have a 10-Ranger team that was marketed largest Ranger team in history.
Yeah.
Yet we kept the 6th Ranger dynamic through the entire series.
Yep. Philip's gone.
Yeah, Philip.
He's just not there.
Yeah, and I was alright with it at the end of last season because I was like, okay, next season, he's got to be more prominent, right? He's got to be like an active member.
Yeah.
I've got somebody to cover for me who do the Prince stuff. I'm here to help, and he can actually go through character arcs. We have some filler episodes with him or something.
Yeah.
But that's not how we play out.
He's not there.
I think your idea, as far as, to make that work a lot better would be to have the Rangers be captured by Snide and Ice Age at the very beginning.
Yeah.
And then have the background Rangers be like the B squad to come in and be like, okay, well, we got to find him.
Correct. Yeah.
That would have been really cool to see.
Keep Ivan, or Coda, whatever. Yeah. If you want to keep Coda for the rest of the season, do that. We
could have still had Coda and Tyler because they're the ones who survived.
That's right.
Frozen process.
Yeah.
So just pair them off with the other two Rangers that we have after that point.
Yeah, Philip and Ivan.
And
then have Kendall get her Energem, join the team.
I mean, that would have been a much better way to play it out than the way that we originally went. And I get the point about these characters, we've built them to be this certain way, so it would be kind of cheating if that happened. But it's more of a well-rounded story, and we don't feel as much like we're repeating ourselves.
Yeah. Again. Yeah.
Do you think the problem is that we changed the writing and directing staff halfway through?
Yes. Well, kind of.
Okay.
I think the shift might have actually helped.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't.
Where did they start?
Episode 1.
Where did the other team start?
Oh. When...
Episode 11?
No. The other team started in season 2.
Oh.
Supercharge was...
Oh, I see what you're saying.
An entirely different writing staff and directing staff.
Yeah. No, that was a bad idea.
Yeah, they got rid of all the people that they were using.
I don't know why.
People.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't know if they were just too busy with different projects or if they had to let them go.
It was a money issue, I feel like it was a money issue.
I don't know.
But it also might be a Nickelodeon issue.
Maybe. I mean, we just don't know.
No.
But it just seemed really odd. And that, unfortunately, does play. That does create the problem of, well, we have these characters here, but now we have to write them a certain way to be from a different team that doesn't really understand them, I guess.
Yes.
Which isn't necessarily the problem because it doesn't happen a whole lot. I think the major casualties are again, Riley and Shelby, because of Shelby with the whole love triangle unrequited love reset thing that happens. I care about you, Tyler. See ya. It just seemed really disappointing. I don't think it ever really got recovered from that. I mean, we did get Wings of Danger, which was a fantastic episode, and that was the point where we were like, we're back. But then immediately after that, we went into the same show.
Yeah, it felt episodic.
Yeah,
it was very much been there, done that.
Yeah,
throughout the entire series.
Yeah, I would love to know what the finale was originally before they decided to do the time travel thing, or maybe that was always the idea because Coda and Ivan are mainly just people that are not in the right time period.
Well, I think that's part of it, but no, I think that the time travel thing was actually, that was where they wanted to go with it the whole time, especially like when you were talking about episode 19 with Medusa. You get that line, how would you save Sentai 6 if you had the Energems? There's very much a big mystery kind of surrounding it.
Before we find out that the Energems can control time.
Right.
And that in and of itself makes sense. It just creates a lot of problems. And I chose to focus more on the character side of it just because I wanted to know how these people would play off each other. Mainly the thing I was worried about was Chase and Kaylee.
Oh.
And they just don't address it at all.
Yeah. I wanted to know what Colonel Truman had to say to Shelby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's not really an answer given, and things are made even worse by the Christmas special in terms of continuity, and that's just it. That's really the only problems that I have with that episode.
Oh, man.
Are just continuity issues. And you'll see what I'm talking about when we watch it, but yeah.
All right, cool. Well, let's put it on.
Okay, well, thank you guys for joining us for our Dino Supercharge finale spectacular 3000.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was only okay.
Yeah,
this show was
a giant disappointment.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I mean,
it's not
but
good.
It doesn't really. After Dino Charge, I was expecting something
more.
Yeah, something more, or something at least as good.
Yeah.
And this season, outside of a couple episodes, doesn't really give you that.
No, it doesn't. It's very sad.
I just, man, the lack of closure in the finale, when Dino Charge's finale had that moment, you know, we're moving on with our lives, guys. It had that feel to it, and this just didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, hopefully Ninja Steel takes a different approach to it.
I don't know.
I am so excited.
From what I've seen of the teasers, I'm less excited.
I should say I'm more excited just because ninjas.
Oh, okay.
Which is just a me thing, but yeah.
No, well, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Yes, it's just a you thing. So, yeah. Join us next time when we're... Well, it won't be next time. It'll be in January sometime.
Yeah.
When we talk about the first episode of Power Rangers Ninja Steel. Man, it's going to come out quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw the date and I was like,
what day is it?
I want to say it's like the 4th.
The 4th?
Yeah.
Man.
But I don't know.
It's crazy.
We should Google it.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Ice Chip Andy.
I'm Nick, a.k.a. IronBat 1993. May the power chamber protect you.
You didn't want to go with the Ninja Go?
The Pavlova.